I, 31 male, met my wife, 33 female, Jane, at work when I was 25. We've always been really close. We're expecting our first child soon. That was what I was led to believe anyway. Last week, I found out she's been sleeping with her coworker, Phil, 25, for the better part of a year. I found his hat in her car. I asked her about it. She told me she didn't know where it came from. I asked several times if she gave someone a ride home. Told her I wouldn't care if that's all she did. She denied it. So, I dug around on her social media. I saw she'd recently added a guy named Phil from work. Guess who was wearing the hat in his profile picture? I messaged him to ask if he knew her. He said yes, she's his girlfriend. I told him she's my wife. He seemed taken aback and apologized. Said that he'd had no idea she was married. I believe him, because my wife's profile's pretty inactive and has no pics of us. I confronted her. Shit hit the fan. She admitted to everything after I threatened to tell her parents. She broke down and said she didn't want to leave my house. My sister came over. They argued a bit. She called her some choice words. After that, my wife left. I don't know where she went to, but she packed some of her clothes, said some expletives, and left. I'm also pretty concerned whether the baby she's carrying is truly mine. That thought crushes me. She's assured me the baby is, but I can't believe anything she says anymore. I told her before I signed the birth certificate, I want a paternity test. She blew up and told me I was trying to shirk off the responsibility. That reaction alone is enough to convince she's unaware about the paternity as much as I am. I talked to my sister Renee. She said if I want, she'll make a pass at Phil to make my wife mad. Renee's very pretty. I told her not to worry about it. I don't think he'll be calling my wife anytime soon. I also don't want to add any more drama to this poor guy's life. Don't judge Renee too harshly. She's just mad on my account. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, am I? Update. We had the paternity test. We did a blood test before the baby's born. She refused at first, but then my lawyer submitted papers and it became a court order. She had no choice. The baby isn't mine. I don't know if it's Phil's or not either. Admittedly, I'm relieved. I don't want any more ties to her. She admitted she'd been pretty sure her child wasn't mine anyway, but she didn't want me to know that fact. Divorce is underway and would be finalized within the next 2 weeks. We have no shared assets and our finances were easily separated, so it was a relatively smooth process. I haven't really gotten back into dating yet. I think I'll take a bit more time to heal myself before jumping back into that. I also talked to Phil. He hasn't spoken to soon-to-be ex and doesn't plan to. He was shaken about the paternity test results, but seemed to be pretty confident that the baby isn't his, since he claims they always used protection. And he also has some medical condition that predisposes him to very low sperm motility. All in all, life's pretty good. I do want to have kids someday. I hope I just get lucky enough to find someone trustworthy enough. I'm not going to let this experience bring me down. Story 2. Me, 29 male, and my wife, 27 female, married 3 years, together for much longer, cheated on me, left me, ongoing affair. Is it worth it? My wife and I have been together since high school. Both of us went to college, got married shortly after. 3-year marriage. Life was good. Or so we thought. I did everything I could for her. I made her the center of my life. I love her. I don't want to be that husband that didn't let her do anything or hold her back on what she wanted to do. We traveled the world. I let her hang out with her girlfriends when she wanted to. We had date night once a week. What more could you ask for? This past spring, she went to her cousin's bachelorette party. After that weekend, it all goes downhill from there. We both worked the graveyard shift, and some nights she'd be off from work and would tell me she was going to hang out with her friends. Sure, no problem. Hadn't been a big deal. But over the course of a few months, it was definitely getting suspicious. A few months later, we go to that cousin's wedding. We took off a week to spend with family. Some of her siblings and family asked me if my wife was doing okay, if we were okay. They said she was very distant, always on the phone, always missing, but always on the go. She was very short with a lot of them, they said. Got back from the wedding trip. We were both supposed to work that weekend. She awkwardly was called off from work one night. She said, as she usually said, she was going to hang out with some friends that night. I texted her later in the evening, asked what she was doing. She said she was going out. I texted her again past midnight, asked if she was heading home soon and to be careful. We track each other on Find My Friends. Noticed she was still at her girlfriend's place. This isn't the first time. Morning comes and she's not at home. I call her up. tell her to come home immediately. I just go straight for it and ask if there's another guy, and she drops the bomb. Daggers. So many daggers. I can still imagine that moment like a movie in my head. She tells me she met this guy during the bachelorette trip that turned out to also live by us. All those times she was with her girlfriends, she was actually with this guy. And I can recollect how many times I've checked Find My Friends and she would be at that location. I loved her deeply and value our relationship. I put aside my pride and humility and tell her I'm willing to work out our marriage even with what she's done. A lot of you probably think I'm an idiot. I ask her what she wanted. She says she doesn't know. She at first says she wants to be with me, but still wants to see the other guy. I'm angry, upset, sad, mad, whatever else feelings there are. Few days pass, we become more estranged to each other. She distances herself, then drops the next bomb. She packs up and moves out. I meet up with her a week later, and we talk. From the research I've done, she's definitely in this affair fog. She doesn't seem to take responsibility for the affair or what she's done. She just continued to point blame back on me, on what was wrong with our relationship, which was the first time I heard of it, and also the first time she tells me she's unhappy. I'm blindsided. She asks me to give her some space and time. She also tells me she wants to find herself, experience the single life, and that she's not leaving me for another guy. A couple weeks later, after we talk, my curiosity gets the best of me, and I take a drive by this guy's place. As you would expect, I find her car parked there. I'm crushed. Now, about 2 months later, I still haven't heard from her. I don't know if I should reach out to her or just keep waiting. I guess my question is, where should I go from here? Is this relationship worth saving? The car I drive is under her. Should I just give it back? What about our shared cell phone bill? So many unknowns. It doesn't seem like she wants to work out anything at all. And I know if she continues this affair, any way our marriage would reconcile's pretty much out the door. Everyone has also been telling me to give it some time. It's still early to determine anything. And I told her I didn't want to make any irrational decisions that we might regret later. I've been doing the best to take care of myself, to focus on me. I've gotten checked for STDs right away. I've been seeing a therapist quite frequently since all this began. My family and close friends are all informed and in the loop. My support system is them, and they've been there for me. I've continued working out. It's always been a thing for me. Prayer has been nice, seeking a greater being. I know I'm going to have good days and bad days, sad days and happy days. I know my emotions are going to be all over the place. Should I be moving on? Is there something worth waiting for? Can we fix this if she opens her eyes? What's it going to be worth? Do I have to let her go for her to see what she's lost? If you've read it all and have come this far, thank you in advance. All comments are greatly appreciated. Man, your wife's left you. She's not coming back. And honestly, even if she did, you could never trust her again. She's been gone for 2 months, living with the guy she cheated on you with, and has shown no sign of remorse or any desire to fix what she's broken. What are you waiting for? She's not confused or lost. She's made her choice. It's time to lawyer up and start the divorce process. The longer you wait, the more power she has to dictate how this ends. Don't let her string you along while she enjoys her new life. Get a lawyer who can help protect you and your interests, especially if there are shared assets like your house or finances involved. You've already done the hard work of taking care of yourself. Therapy, leaning on your support system, and staying active. Now it's time to take the next step and prioritize your future. You deserve better than being someone's backup plan. Stop waiting for her to wake up. She's gone, and it's time to let her go. You've got this. Keep moving forward.